Nick announced FM Gauntlet. We were playing one, I'm like, yo, how cool have you got in? I remember I typed in pick me. I was the first person picked. I was like, no shot. I call Hector. I had his number. I didn't have his number yet, so I called him. I was like, Hector, wake up your boy D. We got a spot. It's trios. I already told him we're in. I gave him your info. Tournament starts in like 10 minutes. And he's like, okay. He hangs up. He calls D, gets D on. No time to warm up. No nothing. We get in it. This guy dropped. How much did he drop? How many did he drop?
I remember kills. 136. 136.
I think the
second was 105.
Yeah.
So Nick goes down. Who the heck is this aDiaz_001 guy? And this is how we all started streaming.
Today's episode with Baka Bros is brought to you by Totino's Pizza Rolls. Heat your oven up to 425, throw them in between 14 and 16 minutes, and you can get back to gaming. Where did the name Baka Bros come from?
So this is actually...
I think this all started with Hector.
Yes and no. I'm gonna give Lucky a big credit. So we all ended up playing together, tournaments together, right? And I was like, boys, we gotta come up with a name. Like this guy, Lucky. It was all Lucky who
Yeah, it was literally like, we were on that meeting. We had a meeting for 2 hours just to think of a name. We couldn't think of it.
So it was just you three in a...
And a Discord call.
Yeah, Discord call, and she's like, all right, well, we'll come back to it. And then I literally, like, as soon as I got off, I was on TikTok, and the word Baka came up. And the word Baka came up, and then the definition. Stupid idiot. I'm like, Baka, guys, Baka. I'm like, yo, hold on. We all got back in it, and we just started tossing names. We're like, Baka Bros.
And we're like, Baka Bros is it. And we're like, yo, like, that's it.
So when was that? Like 2020? Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Back before that, who knew who first? Like, how did this become a thing?
Okay, Modern Warfare 2019 came out, right? And then they announced a BR, a Warzone BR.
Yep.
And I was like, wait. I told D, I was like, bro, you're disgusting. I was like, we're insane together. I was like, we need to lock in. And I was like, I want to be the best players in the game. I was like, all right. He's like, all right, I'm down. I'm like, all right, let's go. So at the time, only trios was the thing. There was no other quads, duos, solos. There was only trios in Warzone. And I was like, we need to find somebody to grind with. Like, we got to find one person, and we're gonna play with that person every day, and we're gonna grind, and we're gonna become the best in the world. We start trying people out, and I remember I was on Twitter one night, and I was just scrolling, and I see this guy. This guy posted a video of him with a P90, which was not meta at all, dropping 150 kills on pubs, just like regular multiplayer. And I was like, in my brain, my scouting brain started going. I was like, okay, let me hit him up. Would you like to come play with us? And he was like, I'm down. Like, let's do it. Yeah. At first, he thought that Diaz didn't like us.
Yeah, so when we first played, I've already known Hector, and Hector is very outgoing. So we were just like, when me and him were playing, it was very talking. He's like, okay, like tomorrow we're gonna bring in my boy. He's gonna be the third. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's play with this guy.
He's like the complete opposite.
I've never played with him. I played with him, and me and Hector were talking. He maybe said one word the whole night. Like, he was not literally, but he was very quiet. And I'm like, you know what?
He was scoping you out, bro.
Yeah.
Is this my guy?
And I was doing good. I was dropping kills. We were winning, so I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So I remember that night, I texted Hector, like, yo, dude, great games, fun playing with you again, man. But honestly, like, I'm not trying to kill anyone's spots or anything. Like, if he, your homie doesn't talk. I was like, your homie doesn't talk. I'm like, you're good. I don't want to put him in a situation. Like, I'll just go back to my puzz. He's like, no, bro. He's like, that's just Diaz. He's like, you actually.
That's just him.
He's like, I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, let's play.
Yeah, I remember I asked Diaz, I was like, what you think about him? He goes, like, he's cool. He's like, that's just him. He's just like, he's just so nonchalant about everything. Like, just like, whatever. And I was like, so you're not gonna play with him? He's like, yeah.
I couldn't play custom games because my PS4 would literally overheat because it just end game just so I used to, even back in Warzone, I used to have to
I remember it
sounded like a plane.
No, look what he had to do. Look what he had to do.
Okay, to keep my PS4 cool, and it gets real ghetto. I used to have to get a paper towel, okay, wet it, put it in the freezer, take it out, and then take off the cover of my PS4, put it on there. And then for about 10 minutes tops, because after that it gets like wet and watery, I take it off and do it again, and that would keep my PS4 cool. So that's how
You're
they
a
would
brave
play.
man.
I know I'm gonna say,
I'm not techie. I know how to do it, but I even did that when we would play tournaments. They didn't know my setup condition. I think if they knew how my setup, they probably wouldn't have played with me. But
we would have definitely just.
This guy was like playing on a TV during the FM.
I was playing on it was like
a 48-inch TV. I'm a hungry boy.
Same.
So if you could grab the Totino's pizza rolls over there, we're gonna get that bag open up.
Hey, rip that, Lucky, rip that. Hey.
All right, before you start, we did this with Shotzzy,
Okay.
and he put on a show.
Oh my god.
So it's up to you. If you guys want to get creative with it, how you're gonna open the
I don't know how
bag?
you open this.
You gotta hold it, D. Hey, Lux, we just gotta, you grab this side, you
Yeah,
this
yeah.
side, and then we yank,
I don't
ready?
even know. Wait, yank it towards
Like
me?
this, and just go up. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Yeah!
Yeah, that's what we love to see right there.
I'll go put it in right now.
Bro.
All right,
Oh,
let's
man.
place these bad boys out. We gotta make it
Alright.
look nice and pretty.
Oh, there you go. And how should we cook these?
So you're gonna put your oven to 425.
Okay.
You're gonna put them in between 14 and 16 minutes.
Okay. I'm in there. I'm locked in.
The Infam Gauntlet, that was pretty vital to where you guys are at, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember like we were playing when I'm like, yo, how cool have you got in? And I was talking to Hector, he's like, well, you gotta go in NICKMERCS' chat and you gotta type pick me. And then one of the mods or Nick will grab you. Only 90 people got grabbed, so it was like 90 and then it's
He's probably had like what, 30, 40,000.
Oh,
dude,
he
this
had,
was-
like,
this was
hella.
Warzone, like,
Yeah, this
close
whenever
to
he popped
100K.
off.
Close to
wow.
100.
Yeah.
This was, so I'm like, I'm gonna wake up early because he streamed early. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna go pick me. You guys down. He's like, yeah, we're not gonna get it. Just go. I'm like, all right. I remember I typed in pick me. I was the first person picked, and as soon as I got picked, I was like, no shot. I call Hector. I had his number. I didn't have his number yet, so I called him. I was like, Hector, wake up your boy D. We got a spot. It's trios. I already told him we're in. I gave him your info. Tournament starts in like 10 minutes. And he's like, okay. He hangs up. He calls D. Gets D on. No time to warm up. No nothing. We get in it. 4 hours kill bot race. So it's like you have 4 hours to get your best like 3 scores. We ran it up and then we got fourth. So only top 3 got paid. But I mean, this guy dropped. How much did he drop? How many?
One,
did he drop?
I remember
the kills.
136.
Which
136.
I think the
second
second place
was 105.
Yeah.
The second
So wait,
place
136 like
kills.
in one
Individual.
game?
No.
Like,
Okay, so
I was gonna say like
there was a list. There was a list of the top 10. So pretty much it was like top 3 get paid, but then MVP gets a freaking shoulder. MVP of the whole tournament. And the way they determined MVP was whoever got the most kills. So they were like, I remember Nick. So Nick goes down, and this is how we all started streaming. So Nick goes, and he had a tournament that Sunday. So this was, let's say Tuesday, that Sunday, 5 days later, whatever it is. He had a tournament, but he had to play with a subscriber, right? So what Nick did was like, all right, he's like, let me just go play with somebody. Let me go play with the MVP of last week of my tournament. And he goes, who the heck is this aDiaz_001 guy? I'm like, wait, I was like, that's my boy. I was like, that's my boy.
and you're probably not watching
He's
this.
not watching. He's not watching.
Probably asleep or something, dude.
No, he was asleep. And he goes, somebody find me this guy and let me play with him. I called, he didn't answer me. I called 5 times, 10 times. And he's like, what do you want? I'm like, yeah. I was like, get on right now. I was like, Nick wants to play with you. And he goes, what Nick? I was like, NICKMERCS. He's like, what? I was like, dude, get on right now. He's like, why? He's like, and I explained the whole situation. He's like, oh, bet. I was like, I'm down. He gets on, plays with them, and just fries out. Like 30s every single game. Like and that's like a huge deal back
Especially at the
in the day.
beginning of Warzone.
So what was that like getting into like Discord with him for the first time? Like, were you nervous?
Yeah.
You're getting put on a
The
spotlight.
same way
like,
I was to Lucky, I was like with Nick. Like I didn't talk at all. Like it was
and then
crazy.
I bet Nick to his boys was like, I don't think this dude likes it.
Yeah, he was like, I think Nick understood. I think he saw how nasty he was, and he tried to get Diaz like out of his shell. I mean, it was a 2-week tournament. They got first place the first week, and then they ended up getting second the second week. And he just top fragger, did insane. And literally the entire time, I'm telling Diaz, you need to stream. You need to stream. You need to stream. Like, I'm like, bro, like, you're way too good.
It blows my mind that you guys are in this time of this of the story still not streaming.
No streaming.
No.
Just playing the game because we love it. Like, we love COD.
I don't even know if it would be like a missed opportunity, but just think about all the people that are just gamers, dude.
Yeah.
And like they never stream.
Yeah.
Like,
there's so
there
much.
was
I'm just so happy.
This
he
guy
did.
Hector used to say I was a wasted talent.
Yeah, I
did
would,
with Fortnite.
I would always have. I was like, bro, like, cause me, I'm like one of those people that I'm not naturally really good at things. Like, I'm not like I have to like
Work at it, yeah.
Really have to like grind things to be good and like understand it. I'm not like a natural at really anything. And so I remember telling him during Fortnite, I was like, bro, I was here grinding 8 hours every day trying to be the best. And this guy get on and just smoke everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I was like, you don't understand like how good you really are. Like I literally told him, I was like, you're wasted talent. I was like, you're a wasted talent because you're the best of the game, but you don't even play the game and you don't want to play it and you don't want to do anything. I was like, you're a wasted talent, bro.
Going back, when you guys met, your name was
I'm really lucky.
Why?
Okay,
Let's
so
hear it.
like I used to play Call of Duty on the side before I changed to Fortnite, but I used to play on a really high sense. And I used to play with the same 8 people, and we just do money 8s. We do $1, money 8s are just free. We do a toss. But I had a pretty good shot, especially on the jetpack games. And they're like, nah, you're just lucky, bro. Like, you're just like, your shots aren't that good. You're just getting lucky. And I used to get upset about it. I'm like, dude, I'm not, I play, I'm good. I have a control freak on. We're good. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to change my name. I'm really lucky because you guys are always calling me lucky. So I did I'm really lucky. And then when I started streaming, I'm like, I can't be I'm really lucky. I'm going to switch it up. And I wanted to just be lucky. But I think the name was already taken. I think the CDL player had taken it. It's like, okay, Lucky Charms. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get sued. I don't want to get sued. So I'm like, okay, Charm in Japanese is Chamu. So I'm like, Lucky Chamu. Everyone still calls me just Lucky, but just the Chamu's there. So Lucky Chamu is kind of how I came up with my name.
Back in BO3, people were like, oh, I consider myself pretty good at the game, right? So they were like, oh, I would get it all the time. You're disgusting. You're gross, right? And I was like, okay, what's another word for disgusting or gross? And I was like, repulsive. Repulsive. And I was like, how do I shorten it? And I was like, Repulse. Screw it. And so that's how I came up with my name. And when I went to the PlayStation store, Repulse with 1 L was taken. So I just put 2 L's on there. And I know I get, oh, are you Repullze? I'm like, nah, bro. Repullze. No.
Repullze.
So that's how I got Repulse.
How about you?
So for me,
This is great.
I mean, I don't even think you know it, but it's because my dad, whenever I first got what I think it was a PS3, is when you could play online and stuff. So my dad made the account for us, right? It was like J, which is his first name, and then Diaz, which is his last name, and then his, I don't know why he just did _001. So I ended up just copying that whenever I got a PS4. I just put A Diaz _001. I just changed it to that. And that's just what my gamer tag was.
For the longest time.
Yeah.
And then the switch happened.
After I realized how dumb the name was, it was hella random. I was like, yo, Hector, what should I change my name to, bro? Because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. So I asked Hector, he's like, bro, just change it to Biffle. I'm like,
he's like, what's Biffle?
Yeah, and he's like, BIFFL.
I was like, BFFL. I was like, you're my best friend for life, bro.
Biffle.
Yeah. I was like, get it.
He just goes, he goes, all right. I'm like, oh shit.
It didn't sound bad.
Yeah, so he just changed it to or it was just Biffle, right?
Yeah.
He changed it to Biffle. And I was like, let's go, bro. I was like, all right, cool. So that's how he got his name.
Yeah.
Right?
He was telling me names. He's like, well, what do I do for logo? I'm like, do this penguin. I would look up penguins on the internet. I'm like, yo, change your logo to this and this. I still have one of the screenshots. It was like a 3D penguin from anime.
Yeah.
He was like, look at the thing. I still have it.
It's because my Twitter Avi on Twitter and everything was the header was just a penguin.
Why
the longest time?
I don't know. I just had it as a penguin.
Because during the beginning of Warzone, gaming still wasn't cool. So for guarantee Diaz too. I had a second Twitter. I didn't have my personal Twitter.
Yeah.
I had a gaming Twitter, and I didn't have any of my face on there. It was just strictly gaming stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't have any.
I still remember your old profile picture.
Yeah, it was just random stuff, and I was like, I don't want anyone to know I'm a gaming. So just these guys,
So you saying gaming wasn't really cool then?
Yeah.
Whatever. When would you guys say that gaming and streaming became
Fortnite?
Cool?
Fortnite when Drake played with Ninja.
Yeah.
That's when things started transitioning. I think, and when I think people were gaming, but it was so down low. But when these celebrities started showing their interest,
Then it started to be they're not weird, they're not losers. You can play video games for a living, and look at what Ninja did. He's playing with Drake. Drake. And I remember, dude, Twitter and social media was crazy that day.
It exploded.
Yeah,
that day was
300,000 viewers watching him play with the Drake. It was crazy.
That was
I
a
think
nuts day.
he peaked. I think it was 600. I don't know.
He peaked crazy.
But I think that's when transitioning, gaming started to become cool. Because before that, I've been gaming my whole life since I was a kid, and it was always down low. Even only my best friend who would come over, and we'd play games. That was it. After that, we get to school, talk about it.
Dude, I didn't care. I was the complete opposite. I was if I invited friends over, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be gaming. If you wanna come hang out with me while I game, that's cool. I was addicted. I didn't care. I was telling everybody, yeah, bro, let's go play COD together. I was complete opposite, man.
You guys got a lot of eyes on you at all times, and a lot of people from the Hispanic community look up to you guys. It's a lot of pressure, I feel like, or maybe not. You guys you're always playing Hispanic music on the street and stuff like that. So you definitely have people that look up to you, and what does that mean to each and every one of you guys?
I mean, for me, growing up, I wasn't as in touch with my Hispanic roots, right? I was, my family definitely was, right? We would go to Mexico all the time, when we were kids and stuff. And so now growing up, I realized how important that side of my me is, right? And so getting DMs saying that, like, hey man, thank you for representing the Hispanic community. Like, we don't have that many creators out there. And, you know, I can only think of like Hex and like Castro, who are really up there with the Hispanic community. And it's like, to even be put on a platform with those guys, it's like, it's humbling, man. It's humbling. And I do my best to try to represent us Latinos as best as possible, you know. But I mean, it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing, man. And for me, it means a lot to me. And I know for my pops, he's like Viva Mexico, you know. My dad's, you know, very proud of everything that we're all doing, not just me.
I'd have to say for me is like, I wasn't similar as tuned, right, into you know, my background, a little bit more of that. But when I started streaming and like building community and those DMs started coming in, I didn't realize, like, one, how many eyes were on us, but two, like, the same support and you know, the comments I get in my Twitch chat is like the same support I'm getting from my family. And my family's very tight. Like, even on days like on tournament days or merch drops, like, if my family can, they would all go to my house and put me in the living room and they'd all watch and just enjoy it, have some food, relax and stuff. And I'm seeing the same kind of energy and vibe in my Twitch chat, and it means a lot, man. And it's great to have that support, you know, and stuff like that. And just got to keep, like Hector and his pop said, you just got to keep pushing. Got to keep inspiring and just really just keep that ball moving, man.
Keep doing your
especially
thing,
in the next couple of years,
Yeah, for me, like, I honestly never really noticed it until like I started seeing those messages come through like in chat and stuff, like
Chat,
thank you for
DMs,
representing
all that stuff.
yeah. So I mean, like, it feels great being able to like represent the Hispanic community like that. So
It's something to be very proud of.
yeah.
Not a lot of you know communities have, and that's one of the biggest things that I try to iterate with these guys. And it's like, me personally, I don't care how far I go in this space. I care how far the Baka Bros go. Like, to me, it's always gonna be that.
That's
like always.
Sadly, that's rare, dude.
I know,
like
I know,
when you got
yeah.
somebody like, these are your boys, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, you being their biggest fan. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But just to let you guys know, someone who's not a part of the Hispanic community, I see that.
Yeah.
And I respect that so much. So
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
the pizza rolls are probably going to be burning if we don't take them out right now.
Jesus,
So
let's
we should
go.
probably get to that.
Let's do it.
Come on.
That's tactical right here. Ready?
Hey, I got it. Don't worry. Oh my God.
I got it in my hands.
They are sizzling.
Wait, should I have 2 hands for this?
No, you good? You good?
Please
fine,
don't
man.
burn your hand. I would
That's
feel
my boy,
very
that's my boy.
responsible.
D, you're the one. Your hands are the moneymaker. You gotta.
I'm not touching them.
Don't. All right, we're gonna let that sizzle. D, careful.
Warzone 2 comes out soon. His thoughts, opinions on, you know, the new stuff coming out. Hey,
Silence speaks volumes, right?
I'm just here talking.
All right, look. The potential for this game is insane. The foundation is very good, but there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, and it quite literally all depends if the devs want to fix it or not. I see this being a common thing with a lot of games, and it's like they end up like leaning towards the casual play style and the people who like aren't the ride or dies or whatever. Because I get it, they are the majority.
These
But at the
taste
same
good.
time, these taste amazing. I'm not gonna. I want to eat this, but I'm talking too much.
Shout out to Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Yeah,
They're great.
They're great.
Have you ate?
No, I have not.
What are we doing
I'm
here?
scared of them being so hot.
No,
No, you're
no.
good. You are good.
No.
Just kidding.
Nah, she's like, oh. But
Damn.
yeah, so they changed things that we feel like they had perfected. So like the loot system was perfect. Everybody loved it. Nobody ever complained, oh, I wish the looting was harder. Like, and now it's like
Make it
the
more
looting-
complicated.
The looting is incredibly complicated. The movement's super heavy. It's like literally, it's like if you're like 20-pound vest.
There's AI bots.
That is
in
kind of
there.
interesting though that they're doing that. So like, there's gonna be like different tiers of vests, right?
Or just either you don't have one or you do have one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and if you don't have one, you can only put on 2 plates at a time. If you do have one, you can put on 3.
Okay.
So that introduces more like luck-based stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's a big thing too. Is like that RNG luck factor. It's
Yeah.
I guess I understand why they want to kind of increase the luck in RNG because at the end of the day it is a BR.
Yep.
But I think when you just do again one or 2 steps too much, not even the casual players are gonna enjoy it because when you're dynasty,
Yeah.
you don't even understand. It's like, okay, how much control do I actually have of my character, of the game, of a chance to win? Is it really am I just rolling the dice and hoping like everything falls into play, or is it like do I have control over something? And so when they're adding too much luck, too much RNG, it becomes more frustrating than it does fun. And the casual players over time will see that. People like us who play the game like 8 hours a day, we'll figure it out in a couple of days or a week.
Yeah, it'll be quick.
Because something I think the casual
Okay.
players don't know is that the last couple months and last couple weeks, they've been making great improvements to the mechanics of the current Warzone. Like they've been doing great, adding lootable perks to the floor, fixing.
You know, and like hopefully that carries over.
We'll just see they
It's a different
step
team.
back.
It's a different team.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's just gonna be whether the devs want to cater completely towards the casual or find a happy medium. The foundation to BR always and foremost is gonna be the map. You look at every single BR that does good. You look at Apex. You look at like people tend to favor one map over the other.
For sure.
And if a map is good, everything else is kind of like not hindsight, but like you can change everything
Yeah,
else.
you can get away with.
Yeah, you can't change the map. Now, and like we flipped it on its head. We have an amazing map with Warzone 2, but everything else, like all the what do you call it? Quality of life, I guess.
They're called quality of life updates.
Yeah.
They kind of like, okay, all the good ones we made, they're gone.
They just forgot
Yeah,
about
they
it.
just so it's a completely different team. So I guess it is in a sense a different game.
I think this time around they're doing a much better job at like responding to our concerns. We did give a lot of Warzone feedback, and yes, we know the bigger population are the casual players, but at the end of the day, the people who are streaming their game, the people who are posting all these videos on YouTube, they're content creators, and they're a lot more than your casual players. There's people who play the game 8-10 hours a day. So we
know the
definitely
game better.
We know the game in and out. Like hopefully they listen to us a little bit more because like Hector said, I mean, it's got a beautiful base. The map is amazing. I think it rivals Verdansk. Like it's really well done. It's kind of everything we wanted Verdansk 2.0 to be.
Yeah, they brought back a bunch of like old POIs, like Terminal, High Rise. They brought back Dome. So like, there's a bunch of like regular like original maps brought into the Warzone map.
That's
Yeah.
something to be excited about.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I'll say
killed
the thing I'm most is the proximity chat.
Dude,
Oh,
so
nice.
they listen, like,
Yeah.
I pride myself on somebody that is very funny.
dude.
So you give me a tool like that, because like
Oh,
Dude, content, your content.
I'm already
is
thinking
insane.
of so many YouTube videos to do that.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun.
And so, like, hopefully they, again, Warzone 2 is right around the corner. We're putting all our trust into them right now, so hopefully they can run with it. It could be a really, really good year, because don't forget, this is a game we're going to play for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really, really good game, one of the best games. I mean, I'm talking top 3 on Twitch.
Yeah, you guys are killing it. Warzone 2 comes out soon.
Hopefully they tell them
I
that.
pray that it's everything that you guys want it to be. I'll definitely be watching your guys' stream, cheering you guys on whenever events and stuff start happening. So I just want to say thank you guys for letting us come into your house.
Anytime.
And,
Appreciate you bringing the Totino.
Yeah, we're starving, bro.
Questions, yeah.
The Totino pizza rolls, dude. They're
Okay,
beautiful.
amazing.
So
Great
I
food.
appreciate you guys. Thank you
Thank
guys
you,
so
man.
much.
Thank you for coming, bro.